do you guys, like, I mean, just speaking of the casting, obviously, Shia LaBeouf's in this. He's really great. I know you guys have talked a lot on this press tour about how, like, he, like, when really method, like, cut his face, he has, like, pulled his tooth out. I guess, I mean, so much has been made of that, but he's really good, and he's, like, really, really good as an actor, I think, in this. I mean, what was it about him that you thought would be really good for this part? Because I think he's great, and people kind of forget about that with all the stuff that, you know, has been happening to him in the last few months.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. When I met him, you know, he came to my house, we're hanging out in my kitchen, and I sensed a guy who was willing to commit. And the crazy Shia stories are fun, but it's not who he's about or what he is. You know, that was something he engineered. I mean, you have a guy who's a child actor who now wants to be recognized for what he is, which is this incredibly talented, mature actor. This guy went and embedded with a National Guard unit, did a big field exercise, lived in the field with soldiers. He shadowed a United States Army chaplain so he could understand ministry, he could understand the word, the faith, the good news, how to talk to soldiers, how to have scripture in his heart so he can portray that faith on the screen in an accurate and responsible way, which is something we don't really see in film these days. He was incredibly giving of his time on set, a lot of fun. When things were really bad on set and miserable and brutal, he had a way of just saying the right thing and kind of keeping the energy up. And I know he did a lot for these guys to keep the energy up because it's exhausting. There is no war. No one's shooting at these guys. They have to pretend. And so sometimes Shia would be the war and help me out.
Like what? Like how would he do that, Logan?
How would he keep the
energy up?
Keep the energy up?
Keep you on your toes.
I would say this about
He'd yell
Shia.
at me.
Yeah, he'd yell. No, Shia's the guy who kind of set the bar for everybody else in a way. I mean, would you say that's accurate too?
100%.
He was like the most committed actor I think I've ever worked with. And no, definitely I've ever worked with. And like, you know, he set the bar for everybody else to kind of keep up with him in terms of, you know, commitment and how much he gave to the process. He was there at all times. Like he didn't, I mean, there were moments where he didn't have to be on set. He was there every single day working harder than anybody else. And I'd say that his commitment is what really, you know, I guess kept everybody's spirits up too, was the fact that he was given so much. We wanted to give as much as him.
I mean, you say, you know, he cut his face and he pulled his tooth out, and then you say, but he also gave a great performance, and I just kind of throw that back at you and be like, yeah, dude, he cut his face and he pulled his tooth out for this movie. You know, like, he did that. And
bring authenticity to it.
Yeah, I mean, Shia doesn't mess around, and you know, as far as, you know, people saying crazy stuff about him, whatever, and his antics, there's nobody better to get into it with, and you will only hear great things from all of us, and he's as committed a guy as I've ever met, and he's got as big a heart as anybody I've ever met, and I love that dude.
And I think that heart comes across. I mean, his character is like really like, I think, like you said, there's a familial aspect to this film, and obviously Brad's character is named War Daddy, so he is like the father figure, but I really, like watching it, it felt like Shia was kind of like the maternal figure almost for the group, which I think is really kind of cool. You guys, if you see the film, you will see that also, I guess. Is that like, you know, kind of what you were going for too with their...
How nuts is that to have that freaking guy as your mom, dude? Think about that. But you got it, man. You're right.